Welcome to English Story School, where we bring English to life through captivating stories and immersive storytelling. Your gateway to learning English in the most engaging way possible. Today, we dive deep into the mystique of the Titanic, a story of luxury, disaster, and a mystery that still intrigues us today. Have you ever wondered what it's like to witness a grand ship's tragic end and be left with more questions than answers? Imagine a ship so magnificent it was deemed unsinkable, only to meet a fateful end on a cold night in the Atlantic. The early 20th century was a period of rapid change and remarkable progress. As the world transitioned from the 19th century, it entered an era characterized by unprecedented technological advancements and social transformations. The rise of industrialization and the growth of urban centers marked a time of both opportunity and challenge. Innovations such as the telephone, electricity, and advancements in transportation were revolutionizing daily life. The age of steam engines and railroads was giving way to the promise of faster and more efficient travel, paving the way for a new era in maritime travel. Nations were expanding their empires, competing for dominance on the global stage. The quest for power and prestige was evident in every sector, including the burgeoning maritime industry. The early 1900s also saw significant social changes. The suffrage movement gained momentum, labor rights were being fought for, and class distinctions were becoming increasingly scrutinized. Founded in 1845, the White Star Line was renowned for its luxurious ocean liners. The company's philosophy was to offer unparalleled comfort and elegance to its passengers, setting itself apart from competitors. By the early 20th century, the White Star Line faced stiff competition from Cunard Line, which had introduced the Lusitania and Mauretania, two of the fastest and most luxurious ships of their time. The rivalry spurred White Star to innovate and set new standards in maritime luxury. In response to the competition, White Star decided to build a new class of superliners that would be larger and more luxurious than any other ships. The Titanic, along with her sister ships, the Britannic and the Olympic, was conceived as part of this ambitious plan. The Titanic was designed to be the epitome of luxury and engineering excellence. The ship's designers aimed to create a vessel that would not only be the largest but also the most comfortable and safest. The Titanic was intended to be a floating palace featuring state-of-the-art amenities. The ship boasted a grand staircase, a swimming pool, a gymnasium, and lavish dining rooms. The interiors were designed by leading architects and craftsmen to reflect the highest standards of elegance and comfort. J. Bruce Ismay, the managing director of the White Star Line, played a crucial role in the conception and design of the Titanic. His vision for the ship was one of opulence and innovation. The Titanic was built by Harland and Wolff, a leading shipbuilding company based in Belfast, Ireland. The construction process began in 1909 and involved thousands of workers, including engineers, shipbuilders, and craftsmen. The Titanic measured 882 feet in length and was 92 feet wide. It was powered by a combination of steam engines and turbines, capable of reaching speeds of up to 24 knots. The ship was designed with advanced safety features, including watertight compartments and a double bottom. The Titanic was equipped with advanced safety features for its time, including 16 watertight compartments and a double-bottom hull. The ship's design was intended to ensure that it could remain afloat even if several compartments were breached. The Titanic was fitted with the latest navigation and communication technologies, including the Marconi wireless system. This allowed for real-time communication with other ships and land stations, which was crucial for maritime safety. The ship's interiors were designed to provide the utmost comfort. The grand staircase, made of wrought iron and wood, was a centerpiece of the ship's design. The first-class dining room featured ornate decor, while the swimming pool and gymnasium were cutting-edge amenities for the time. The Titanic was launched on May 31, 1911, in a grand ceremony attended by notable figures. The ship was christened by Lady Duff Gordon, a prominent socialite, and the event was marked by celebrations and festivities. After its launch, the Titanic underwent extensive fitting and testing. The ship was meticulously prepared for its maiden voyage, with every detail scrutinized to ensure that it met the highest standards of luxury and safety. On April 10, 1912, the Titanic set sail from Southampton, England. The departure was a momentous occasion, with the ship being greeted by crowds and well-wishers. The atmosphere on board was one of excitement and anticipation. The Titanic was carrying 2,224 passengers and crew members. The passengers included some of the wealthiest and most influential people of the time, as well as immigrants and working-class individuals seeking a new life in America. Passengers enjoyed the luxurious amenities and services provided by the ship. The first-class accommodations included private suites, lavish dining rooms, and social spaces. The second and third-class passengers also had access to comfortable and well-appointed facilities. The Titanic's voyage began smoothly, with favorable weather and calm seas. The ship's crew was experienced and well-trained, ensuring a high level of service and safety. The passengers participated in various social events and activities on board. First-class passengers attended elegant dinners, concerts, and dancing in the grand ballroom. The ship's crew organized entertainment and recreational activities for all classes. The crew members carried out their daily duties, ensuring that everything ran smoothly. From the captain and officers to the stewards and engineers, everyone played a role in maintaining the ship's operations and guest services. On the night of April 14, 1912, the Titanic was cruising through the icy waters of the North Atlantic. The ship's lookouts had received iceberg warnings from other vessels, but the Titanic continued at full speed. At approximately 11:40 p.m., the Titanic collided with an iceberg. The impact caused a massive gash in the ship's hull, breaching several watertight compartments. The collision was felt throughout the ship, and the crew immediately began to assess the damage. The extent of the damage was severe. The iceberg had torn open the ship's hull, allowing water to flood multiple compartments. The ship's designers had anticipated that the watertight compartments would keep it afloat, but the damage exceeded their expectations. As the Titanic began to sink, passengers and crew faced panic and confusion. The ship's crew worked frantically to launch lifeboats, but many were only partially filled. The chaos of the night contributed to the high death toll. The Titanic's lifeboats were launched, but there were not enough to accommodate all passengers. Many lifeboats were launched with empty seats, and some were only partially filled. The ship's crew tried to manage the situation, but the scale of the disaster was overwhelming. The evacuation was chaotic and disorganized. Some passengers were reluctant to leave the ship, while others struggled to find a place in the lifeboats. The crew worked tirelessly to ensure as many people as possible were saved. The Titanic's distress signals were picked up by nearby ships, including the Carpathia. The Carpathia arrived at the scene several hours later after the Titanic had already sunk. The Carpathia's crew conducted a massive rescue operation, recovering survivors from the lifeboats and the icy waters. The operation was one of the largest maritime rescue efforts in history. The survivors were brought to safety, and their accounts of the disaster revealed the harrowing experiences of those who had endured the night. Many survivors experienced trauma and loss, and their stories added to the tragedy of the event. The sinking of the Titanic resulted in the loss of over 1,500 lives. The majority of the victims were passengers in the lower classes who had limited access to lifeboats. The loss of life was a profound tragedy, with families and communities affected by the disaster. The Titanic disaster prompted widespread grief and memorials for the victims. The names of those who perished were commemorated, and various memorials were established in their honor. The sinking of the Titanic was met with shock and mourning around the world. The media coverage of the disaster was extensive, and the event was the subject of intense scrutiny and speculation. The tragedy prompted widespread public mourning and reflection. The disaster led to a re-examination of maritime safety practices and regulations. The British inquiry into the disaster focused on the ship's design, construction, and management. The investigation revealed several issues, including design flaws and inadequate safety measures. The American inquiry, led by Senator William Alden Smith, also examined the causes of the sinking. The findings highlighted the role of the ship's speed and the failure to heed iceberg warnings. The inquiries led to recommendations for improving maritime safety, including increased lifeboat requirements and enhanced communication protocols. Some researchers have suggested that the Titanic's hull may have been compromised by the use of low-quality steel. The theory posits that the steel used in the ship's construction was more brittle than expected. Theories about the iceberg's role in the disaster continue to be debated. Some researchers argue that the iceberg was particularly large and dangerous, while others suggest that the ship's speed and design contributed to the severity of the collision. Various other theories have emerged over the years, including suggestions that the ship's watertight compartments were not as effective as intended, or that the Titanic's crew made critical errors in their response to the emergency. In 1985, the Titanic's wreck was discovered on the ocean floor by a team of researchers led by Robert Ballard. The discovery provided new insights into the disaster and revealed previously unknown details about the ship's final moments. Subsequent explorations of the wreck have provided valuable information about the ship's condition and the events leading up to the sinking. The artifacts recovered from the wreck have shed light on the Titanic's story and the lives of those on board. The Titanic disaster led to significant changes in maritime safety regulations. The International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, ISOLAS, was established, introducing new safety standards and protocols. The lessons learned from the Titanic's sinking helped to improve safety practices, including the requirement for sufficient lifeboats and improved communication systems. The Titanic has become an enduring symbol of luxury, disaster, and human ambition. The story of the Titanic has been depicted in numerous books, films, and documentaries, capturing the imagination of people around the world. The Titanic's legacy continues to be a subject of fascination and study. The ship's story has inspired countless works of art and scholarship, reflecting the enduring interest in the disaster. Despite extensive research and exploration, many questions about the Titanic remain unanswered. The mystery of the ship's sinking continues to intrigue historians, researchers, and the public. Each new discovery adds to the understanding of the disaster, but the full story remains elusive. Ongoing research and exploration efforts aim to uncover more details about the Titanic's final moments. As we reflect on the Titanic, we honor the memory of those who perished and acknowledge the advancements in safety that followed. The Titanic's story is a powerful reminder of human ambition, tragedy, and the relentless pursuit of answers. The legacy of the Titanic continues to inspire and challenge us to learn from the past and strive for excellence in all endeavors. The story of the Titanic is a testament to the complexities of human achievement and the enduring quest for understanding. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.